Good morning to you all. This is Wednesday. Weather's turning a bit cooler and a bit duller out there. Not to worry. We'll have a look today at a neon lamp. I've got so much stuff upstairs that I don't know what to put up next. Telephones, bulbs, antiques, you name it. It keeps me active and it keeps me going. Anyhow, the lamp I'll show you today is familiar perhaps to a lot of you. Don't know. But what it is a beehive neon. So named because the actual electrodes are in the shape of the old-fashioned beehive. This lamp was actually made by, I don't know if I can show you the etch, it might not come up very much, but I can fill that in. Now unfortunately the etch might show up there, but it's made by Osglim, which was the name used by Osram for their neon lamps. This was changed later back to Osram, but a genuine Osglim is what this is. It's not a pip-top variety, so this was made obviously after they done away with pip-top, the way of evacuating and putting the neon into the lamp. These are very well made actually. I understand that in the Osram lamp factory where they made these, a certain area was set aside to just produce these type of lamps. The other, excuse me a minute, let me turn that off. I've got something's making a funny noise. Sorry about that. At the time they made quite a few different type of neon lamps. One type was like this, but with a red coating on the glass. And I understand they were for photographic use. Another use, and I don't know this because I wasn't around at that time, but during the war years, the underground used this type of lamp to just give a little bit of glow into the carriages of underground trains. How true this is, I don't know, but this is what I was told. And obviously to act as like a blackout, because the light given off by these is very, very low. And often these were used as a night light. Okay, you can't, well, you say you can't get them now. They don't manufacture neon lamps now. But this one was well manufactured. The reason of the large base, it's a bayonet cap, that holds inside a wire wound resistor, because these lamps require a ballast resistor. If that wasn't there, the lamp would destroy as soon as it was turned on. So I'd always say, whenever you have a chance of perhaps getting one of these lamps, and it's not clear what voltage it is, always put it through a variac where you can start at a very low voltage, or, as I said, use what they call a dim bulb. It's like you're in series with a low wattage 240 volt lamp, say a 15 watt sine bulb or something like that, so your current's reduced. To overcome this, well, if you didn't do this and the voltage was wrong for the lamp, it would immediately explode. This did happen to me many years ago when I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid many years ago. I was given a radio, an old one. I don't even know the make of the radio, but in it, along with the valves, was a lamp like this, very similar. It was on pins rather than the bayonet, and it was plugged in as if it was one of the valves. Well, I thought, oh, that's interesting. Let's see if it works. So I wired the right pins up that lights the lamp up and plugged it into the main. Immediately there was a ginormous bang and the lamp was ruined straight away. So I learnt a very good bit of advice then. So if you get these, please check they have a resistor in it, or alternatively wire a 3K resistor to try it out. At least that would reduce the actual voltage, because so many of these lamps were made without the internal resistor, and some of the American ones appear to show the voltage and everything, but they too do not have a resistor, so care must be taken. Now I mention this because these lamps seem to be quite valuable. The first ones of these I bought was, once again, I was a kid. It was in the 1950s, and they were sold by the good quality electrical shops, and they cost an arm and a leg then. When I say an arm and a leg, they were, compared to the normal lamps, quite expensive. If I remember rightly, they were 4 shillings and 5 pence. Why not 4 shillings and 6 pence? I don't know, but they were 4 shillings and 5 pence, which was, in those days, a lot of money. And yeah, they were, I wouldn't say plentiful, but you could obtain them. And they, as I said, were used in a lot of cases as night lights, indicators, etc. Now, if you have the pleasure of finding one of these on eBay, you'll have a bit of a shock, because I've seen these go for about £100 on eBay. Absolutely ridiculous. But there again, if people are prepared to pay that kind of money, of course people are going to put them up for that kind of money. And if I remember rightly, the one that was that price had been well used, and the glass was much discoloured, because after many hours of use, the metal of the electrodes deposit themselves on the glass. So the glass has got like a shading, and eventually it'll almost go black. So if you've got one of these lamps, keep it in the collection. Don't run it, or just run it to demonstrate stuff, but certainly don't use it continually, because it will darken down, and it'll lose its sort of brilliance and interest. Anyway, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can say about these. I've got several of these, well, of this type of lamp. I've probably shown them elsewhere. In the lighting gallery, I believe I put these up. They were made by several firms here and on the continent, and in America and Russia. They all do these. I can show quite a few, but suffice to say, this is the neon beehive, 240 volts. Now this one has got a resistor, so it can be plugged in safely. 240 volts, 5 watts. Very low wattage. In fact, that is a figure taken into consideration the actual ballast as well, so you're probably losing a few watts in that. But the metal of the electrodes are Swedish iron, which is what I led to understand. Swedish iron, which is quite a pure iron. Looking at it closer, you see there's the centre electrode inside, which is like a disc. And the other thing is, when these get very old, when I say very old, they've been lighted for many, many hours, the glass becomes completely black. You can hardly see through it. The disc in the middle and the wire that connects it to the pinch, that's the pinch there, and you've got a little glass tube, and in it is the wire. Well, that wire will eventually vanish. It seems to just changes and go. I'll have a job to explain this, but it takes the metal off and just leaves a little spike, so the disc ends up becoming detached from the little wire, and I've seen this in the past. So that is more or less it. I will put other lamps up, but this would make a bit of a change. Anyway, any questions please ask, try and get back to you. I just don't know what to put up next. The phones are still plentiful at the moment, and yeah, just a thought. So thanks again for watching. Thank you.